Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and today we're going to give you another episode of Free Pattern Friday. Yay! I love Free Pattern Friday. Ever since I've been retired, I have just loved Fridays, and it's so much fun to bring you a fun, free pattern that you can sew over the weekend. This one is called Friendship Plate, and we put a friendship star into an octagon, and there's a real simple, easy way of doing this one, but we'll show you here in a minute when we get to the sewing. But first, all the cutting instructions for this are in the show notes in the description box. Let's do our shout outs, because otherwise I'll forget them. Mary at Words and Stitches and Quilt and Color are the two shout outs for this week, or this episode, and both of their links are going to be in our show notes below. You guys got to go check them out. They're having fun. And I mean, quilting should be all about fun and play and playing with colors and putting stuff together. You know, that's what it's all about, right? So if you go check them out, you like what you see, hit their subscribe button and tell them that Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you. Now, the other things you're going to find in that description box: the Zoom sew dates, first Saturday of every month from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mark it on your calendar, you know, whatever you can do. Now, if you don't want to sew that day, or you haven't got anything to sew that day because you caught up on all your UFOs, bring your crocheting or your counted cross stitch or whatever. We're glad to have you come to the sew date. Also, making comments, thumbs up, share, like, subscribe. There's hit the bell so you don't miss contact, and then there's a hype button now that YouTube has brought. If you could do all of those things for us, that would help push our analytics and get us to give more quilters some fun free patterns 3 times a week. That would just be a godsend to us. And we love hearing from you guys anyways. Also, we have a Facebook group that hosts a virtual sewing room under Discord for the Facebook group people. So that's open 24/7. And there's all sorts of fabric exchanges by country to keep postal costs down, fun chats, but the admin said, please answer the questions and agree to the rules. Otherwise, I can't let you in. We're trying to keep that room as safe from scammers and, you know, all this other nonsense that goes on the internet. They're doing the best they can by doing all of that. Also, I speak for free to quilting guilds and quilting groups, and if your guild or group is looking for a speaker, my email address is under the About tab, or you can message me through the Facebook group. I'd be more than happy to make an accommodation and speak to your group. I enjoy very much meeting other quilters and seeing what they're up to and what's inspiring them. I just love that. Also, shout outs. If you guys are seeing somebody working hard with quilting and having fun and playing, and or new to the quilting community, because I found a couple of new people that were sent to me from the shout outs. I'm asking my viewers to find shout outs for me that are amazing. They're very talented people, and yeah, I would love to give them a shout out, but we do it sneaky. You don't tell them you're sending their name forward to me for a shout out. We want to be sneaky and be something nice. So yes, it's all kind of that thing going on. Also, we got 2 challenges coming up here over the spring and summer months. The first, one of the challenges is Back to Basics and that's being hosted by Donna from Handmade by Yang with Donna. Now, she's put together a bunch of YouTubers, and we're all going to be giving out different lessons on that Back to Basics, and we're all going to be sitting there giving something new. Now, if you're a beginner, that's a perfect way to learn, because there's all sorts of topics that are being covered. And if you've been quilting for a while and picked up some bad habits, like myself, I know I've picked up a few bad habits, then it's time to pull back and, oh yeah, I should be doing that instead. Yeah, I should try that instead. So that's one of the collaborations that I'm involved with, and I'm very happy that Donna asked me. The other one is the Quilters Challenge. Now, Kelly from Kelly's Quilts Plus, Sam Alberts, Deb from Sewing with Debbie, Kelly from Silly Moon's Quilting, Michelle from Bits and Pieces, and myself are coming up with challenges, and we're challenging each other and our viewers to all the fun stuff that we can come up with. And I am just so excited to be part of that, because my challenge is, you know, X, and there's all sorts of potential for them to create all sorts of lovely ideas, and yourselves. I'm so anxious to see what comes out of that. I'm very, very, very excited, and I hope you guys, if you're participating and you're part of that Facebook group, you put out your ideas on these challenges as well. I think it's going to be so much fun. Now, the next sew along after Twinkle Twinkle is going to be Happy Scrappy Overflow. So we're not sure yet when it will start, because we haven't finished filming all of Twinkle Twinkle yet. And as soon as we have a date available, we'll be telling you what date that one starts. So I think that's it. Yes. Come on in. Let's get to the sewing of Friendship Plate. Okay, so here we are. We've got our... What is it here now? Wait a minute, something's wrong here. Oh, there we go. We'll make them all mixed up. We'll mix up all our bees going all sorts of different directions. So we're at the sewing machine with Friendship Plate, and the hardest part gets done first, and there's really no hard parts. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the yellow first, and we're playing around with this, and the bee fabric here is directional, but you know what? It's okay. Wait a minute. There we go. And you want to stay, when you do your thing, I iron these in half. I got my husband to iron these in half for me. And I want to stay just kissing that line. Now, this is where everybody says, just turn your work just like this. Flip off that edge. And go a full ½ inch over and start sewing your half square triangle that you're going to cut off, right? That's true. Yes, you can do that any day of the week. The problem is now, if this has not got enough coverage, I have to unpick 2 lines. It's up to you how you do this, right? But this is, you know, this is why I haven't been doing it in the past, is because I know how this works. This is not might not be the most happiest thing to do. Okay, I need to go this way. First we start this way. Okay. And again, there. Just kissing that line. Hubby so gratefully, I'm so grateful that he knows how to iron. Or knows how to press, not iron. It's not ironing that we're doing here. And, okay, I will do this just to prove that it can be done. I can do it. I'm going to check, make sure there's coverage. Yes, there is. And now I'm going to make this cut right between those lines so that I have the half square triangle already trimmed, or like sewn together. See, it can be done. It can be done. I know how to do that. And I'm going to do this one too. Might as well. Bring this over. I never liked doing it this way because I had to unpick a whole bunch of stuff because I just was dumb, you know. And it is the way it is. And I mean, like, you know, you can do that right away and get it over with. If it ever happened where I had to unpick 2 lines to get one piece of cloth off, I would be very upset. There we go. Yep. Mind you, if I did that now and didn't have enough, we could have a teaching moment, couldn't we now? That would be all right. That would be fine to have a teaching moment. Okay, there we go. Last yellow. Oh, I can't. I gotta do the other thing I worry about is instead of going this side, I sew on the wrong side. That would happen. That's the other reason why I don't do it. Especially when I'm tired, I tend to make more mistakes. You know? Just, that's the way it is. Oops, there we go. And But sometimes that's a bad thing, sometimes it's not. Okay, there we go. You know, when we're tired, if you ever get tired and you start making mistakes, that's when you walk away. That's when you need to stop. Stop what you're doing. Any experienced sewer will tell you that. Don't do any more. Just stop what you're doing. There. Okay. I didn't even check if that one had enough coverage. Oh dear. Oh well, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay, now let's get the white done. The white side done. Now this friendship plate is put together by partial seams. And we'll get to that partial seam in a minute. Oh, hang on. Let me do that other fancy end. There. There we go. Check for coverage. Yes. And just cut up between those lines. There we go. There. Now I'll pick the next one up. You know, I'm not going to do that for the rest of these. I'm just going to do them. I think it takes up too much time, actually, to do it while we're filming. Because I'm trying to be very... You know, I already do so much talking at the beginning of these videos. And I kind of feel bad that I'm taking up too much of your time. Right? That's not a good thing. But anyways, here we go. Just cut that off. There. There. There's one. Yeah, I can use them then as leader and enders. That would be nice. Now with this, all these leader and enders, you could just do them into half square triangles, and you would have a pretty cool border. You know, if you were to do a bunch of these blocks, you'd have a pretty cool border to play around with, and a lot of half square triangles that matched your work, right? So that would be rather an interesting piece, you know, to look at. And there we go. One more. There. And then we'll start doing some partial seaming. Partial seams. Partial seams are not hard. And yes, there is an easier way of doing this block. Yes, you could have made all half square triangles, you know, made this into, you know, 4.5 inch half square triangle. That would have been an easier way of doing the block. But why do easy when we can eliminate a seam and let the block lie flatter? That's actually, you know, the reason why people do partial seams around like 9 patches when they can is to make that block lie flat, right? So I'm just going to roll through. Okay, let me get this off. Oops. Get this off here now because we don't need this foot. This foot is done. We'll get the other foot on. Now we'll start. Okay, and we're just going to start with this leader ender. Oh, come on. Yeah, I put a needle in here. It was that 11, I believe. It's a little on the thin side, but that's okay. That's okay. Okay, and yes, we have coverage. And now, I'm just going to cut this one off. Now we're going to start out by doing the partial seam first. the partial seam on all block assemblies like this are the first ones, right? So we're going to lay this out just like that, right? So we're going to take this one and this, and the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take it, line it up, and instead of going all the way down, we're only going to go down like 1.5 inches. Or, you know, to about here. And we're going to backspace there. I'm going to take this off just like so and put a leader ender in. There we go. Okay. So we are going to push this seam this way. Right? Towards the middle. Always going to the middle. And now we are going to go from here. Oops. Get that leader under through. We're just going to go all the way to here with this right across. And you're going to make sure that seam gets flipped the right way. Here we go. And another leader ender. This is why it's nice to have leader enders around, right? Sometimes you can get a bunch of sewing done very quickly. So now we're going to press this open, and the only place we're going to push it over, and we're pushing it in, we're pushing this in. We're pushing this in just like this. Right, so now we have created that. So now we're going to go like that. And as this gets bigger and bigger, it gets a little weird, but that's okay. I really like how partial seam blocks lay. You know, for the most part. You want to make sure it stays going into the middle. Everything gets pushed into the middle. Because that's the way we're deciding to do this block. And another leader ender. Now you want to press this so it all goes into the middle again. And this is what you have, just like so. And you want to put that like here. Okay, now just like this, and then you nest the edge, right? So you want that perfect point to happen. And because these are so big, these half square triangles, I'm going to leave them unsewn so that I can make, you know, a pinwheel or whatever I wanted to do with it. Now I'm going to take this, I'm going to push this in just like so, and I'm going to flip this over just like so and get my matching end. Yes, I got my matching end, and I'm going to put this under the sewing machine again, and I've overlapped the part I've already sewn because this is where you close up that partial seam, right? And you just want that little bit extra right there. And you trim off this little tag here. Oops. And you pull this out just like that. And then you push this in. You continue to push this in. So what's happened now is this purple square here has been pushed in completely in around the back, right? So these now all, these all now get pushed this way with the green. And this block, once it's ironed, should lie really, really super flat. So, because everything gets pushed into the center square. Sometimes you have to sew them because the center square is so small. Let's say it's, you know, 1.5 inches or something. You have to push out, which is also works to get a nice flat piece. but you know, you can change around the size of this and everything else. So this ends up being 12.5 by 12.5 unfinished, and we'll give it a good press and get to our ta-da moment. Okay, here is our cute little friendship plate. This one comes out so nice, and you know, like, it's a nice flat block because you've done the piecing by partial seams. You've eliminated, you know, all sorts of seams in there, so it presses out really beautifully flat. Now, if you were to make an entire quilt of this, you would have lots of flip and stitch edges left over. Now, I was going to put these into pinwheels, but I mean, you could do all sorts of other different designs with them. You would have enough of these to do a border, right? So around your quilt. So don't be throwing these out, because this just here alone is larger than, you know, a good chunk of your border, right? So yeah, you could have a lot of fun with these and playing with these, and they would match your quilt. They would match your quilt. Oh yes. So anyways, I do hope you give this friendship plate a try. It was fun and fast and kind of easy to do, and it's a great way of using up your scraps. So you take care and you stay well until we meet each other again. All right, bye. My husband and I would like to thank you for all of your support and watching our videos and sharing and liking. It has just been, you've put us on such an amazing journey, and we are having so much fun. I hope everything is going so well in your life, and you know, your 1/4 inch is perfect. Everything is working out for you. And we're just so happy to be part of your life, and you having, like I say, you're watching us. I was just so thrilled that you're doing that. So I want to say goodbye, and I want to thank you with all my heart. Okay? Take care. Bye.